Hello and welcome to a Twin Peaks special episode of On Screen. I'm your host, Dylan Wright, and I'm here to take you on a journey through the Red Room and through film and television. So, it's another themed episode. I know you guys love these because you don't have to just listen to me, you get to listen to other people. And the other people this time is a returning Kat Bizchak and a brand new Alex Widener. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
It's great to be here. When I heard you were doing a Twin Peaks episode, I had to jump on the wagon for that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a classic show, of course, created by David Lynch and Mark Frost. Took place in 1990, 1991, and it's coming back around on Showtime in May, and I'm really excited about that. So, what was your first experience with Twin Peaks?
My freshman year here at college, I binge watched a lot of Netflix, and as I got through different shows, I ended up on Twin Peaks because one of my friends, Pat, recommended it to me, so I ended up watching both seasons of Twin Peaks in like 2 weeks or something like that. I just fell in love with it, and I then heard that they were remaking it, or bringing it back for a remake or third season, however you want to call it, and I was just super excited, you know.
Yeah, me too. How about you, Cap?
I also binge watched it on Netflix. Actually, very recently. My boyfriend kept bringing it up, and I was like, yeah, we'll get to it. And I just wanted to keep watching all the horror movies on Netflix because that's just how I am. And then finally we ran out of horror movies, and he's like, you want to watch Twin Peaks? I was like, okay, we'll watch it. And then, like, 3 episodes later, I was like, yep, okay, we got to finish this now. So I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah. I remember watching an episode of The Simpsons. I think it was Who Shot Mr. Burns, and there was, like, a little parody of the Red Room scene, and Lisa was speaking backwards. And I'm like, what show is this from? I need to watch it. So I decided to binge watch it on Netflix, and I brought my girlfriend along for the ride. She didn't like it as much as I did. I just loved how quirky and scary at the same time it was. Like, it could be the weirdest show just by how tonally different, one episode alone can be. One of the things I really loved was, and I feel weird saying about it, I love the soap opera aspect of some of the relationships. Like, it's so over the top that you know they're kind of making fun of it. Just like the different relationship triangles, like Bobby and Shelley and Leo, and God, I hate Leo, but I just love that aspect. And then when they came in with the dream sequences and all that stuff, it hooked me.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at just Twin Peaks as a show, it really was just a 90s soap opera, you know, like Dallas and all those other ones that were big back then that were very, there's just something about them that's just so odd and has that very soap opera feel, but then Twin Peaks brought in that weird mystery and psychological
they brought in
thing.
the David Lynch.
Right, it was David Lynch making a soap opera.
Like, which,
I mean,
what more can you ask? Because David Lynch is one of the weirdest guys. Like, you listen to him talk, he's just this like nice down to earth guy. He's like a Midwestern gee golly type dude, and then you watch some of his movies, and it's like the most messed up nightmare you could ever experience. And I still have nightmares about a lot of things from Twin Peaks, especially Killer Bob and his creepiness.
The last episode, and I literally...
Are we going to give away the ending to the series?
Before I say anything.
I feel like we'll give like a mild spoiler warning because it's almost impossible to talk about Twin Peaks without spoiling something. Right. We won't say who, like, the main killer
who killed Laura Palmer.
Yeah. And, like, the show isn't really even about that. It's more about this town with secrets and just unraveling that. But I did like the reveal of who killed her. I thought that was really well done.
That was like midway through the second season. As soon as you find out, the show's like, oh, where do we go from here? We've got a whole half a season to finish.
That was because of ABC, though.
Yeah,
ABC,
Right.
Yeah, they wanted to keep the mystery going throughout the whole series. But the network was like, nope, you guys, you're bringing on too long. You need to reveal it. And they were like, fine, we'll reveal it, but the rest of the series is going to suck. And it did, kind of. I mean, the last episode was good. I did like the last episode.
Yeah,
but
going back to that, like, that last episode, like, the idea of them screaming backwards, that was, God. Okay. I had to shut it off, and I was like, I'm going to have nightmares tonight. Yeah. And unanswered questions with that, too.
I was watching at 2 a.m. for some reason, and I'm like, you know what? I'm one episode away. Let's just finish it off. It was not a good move to make because I had nightmares that whole night. Like
Right.
that, like where like the strobe light and like Cooper's running through the red room,
Oh my
and then all of a
God.
sudden Killer Bob is like right in front of the screen. I'm like, oh Jesus.
Right.
Yeah.
I recently started rewatching it.
Me too.
One of my roommates had never seen it, so we started to rewatch the whole series. We got to somewhere around like the Meals on Wheels thing,
Oh yeah.
all that stuff going on. So we're not that far in the grand scheme of the show. And since the beginning, we've had my roommate try to guess
Yeah.
who killed Laura Palmer.
It's always the most fun.
And right now, the only guess he's given has been Jocelyn Packard.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's it. Like, as soon as we saw Josie in the first episode, he's
Yeah.
like, she killed Laura Palmer, and
Oh.
has never said anything else since.
I
So,
mean, she is the first person we see in the show.
right.
So
And his thought was she must be important. I'm not going to say whether Josie did or not for
No.
those who
Just-
haven't finished the series, but
there are a lot of suspects in the show.
Yes.
Definitely, nobody's above suspicion, except maybe Agent Dale Cooper.
Yeah, well,
You know him
Right.
and love him. The coffee-loving, Tibetan monk-following kind
cherry
of...
pie loving.
Oh, loves the cherry pie. I love Dale Cooper. He's probably one of my favorite characters. But speaking of favorite characters, who are your guys' favorite?
You know what? I gotta say, it's either between Audrey or Bobby. Bobby's just hot. I like
Bobby
Bobby. I
breaks.
mean, he's an idiot, but like,
Yeah.
he's a cool. I like this character, and Audrey is just like
Yeah, I love
person, and I love it. It's great.
I love how Audrey's able to just like sneak her way into
Yeah.
this brothel situation through intimidation and just really great kind of spy work almost. She's almost like a femme fatale from a pulp like movie or book, and it's
Right.
kind of cool. How about you, Alex? Who's
Um,
your...
I mean, I want to say Dale Cooper, but I want to go deeper than that.
Yeah.
Because Kyle MacLachlan was perfect for this. Dale Cooper is just like the best secret agent character since the original James Bond
Oh, yeah.
movies. I have like two schools of thought here. I like the Shelley and Bobby storyline because it's very gripping, and I'm like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next?
Yeah.
And
Plus,
it's just-
Shelley's
like
the,
great.
the most
She's
beautiful
a
person
and,
on
and,
the
and
face of
Mädchen
the
Still
Amick is
is.
a
Mitch
great
Amick
actress.
is amazing.
She's an amazing actress.
Yeah.
I don't like Bobby.
Yeah,
but
Bobby's a douche.
he
Leo-
is, but yeah, he's hot.
Leo is worse.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, oh, what's going to happen next?
Yeah.
But I want to say my favorite character, and I'm going to say characters, are Lucy and
And Andy?
Andy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Because just the weird dynamic between the two of them. Lucy's
Yeah.
high-pitched voice is just so ridiculous, and Andy's just like a big dumb dog.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Lucy. Like, it's just so... it's so weird that... And it doesn't fit, but it does.
Yeah.
And I just love those scenes between the two of them because they're so awkward. They're like comic relief. They're just comic relief, and I love it. It's
Yeah.
my favorite.
Like Lucy's always like asking clarifying questions that are pretty obvious, but like she just keeps asking them
Right.
and getting on Sheriff Harry
Or-
Truman's nerves, or
Patching you through now, Harry. Like,
on the
thanks,
phone,
Lucy.
the red phone next to the thing. You know that phone? Yeah, Lucy. Thanks. Yeah, I
Andy.
definitely like Andy and Lucy, except like the later like second season like
Yeah,
arc
it
with
kind
the
of got.
with that third guy that came
Dick
in.
Tremaine?
Yeah, Dick Tremaine. That's who that was.
Yeah, no,
Are you still seeing this, Dick?
Yeah, a lot of
I don't like him.
season 2 arcs are just trash.
So I have
He
to
worried.
say the Ben Horn Civil War.
Yeah, like where he
That-
thinks he's a general and
Yeah.
goes. Yeah,
I-
and then you have Billy Zane as John Justice
Oh, my
Wheeler for to bring in Audrey Horn,
Now, see-
love interest, because
That-
we can't have her with Cooper.
But now you see, I like Billy Zane. I liked
I-
seeing Billy Zane in there because it was just like it
the
was a
douchey
cool
guy from
yeah.
Titanic.
Right.
Okay, but
or one of the latest colonels from KFC commercials.
Yep.
That was weird.
That was very
The whole
weird.
Billy Zane thing, that it was just like, here's this pilot, and here's Audrey. They're gonna get in the plane. What happens next? And I was like, that was just unnecessary.
Yeah, and then they brought in another love interest for Cooper, Annie Blackburn.
She was
played
actually-
Played by Heather Graham.
Heather
Yes.
Graham. I love
she
Heather
was
Graham,
actually
but-
younger than Audrey was
Yeah.
too.
And I heard that a lot of what made Cooper and Audrey not get together was Lara Flynn Boyle, who played.
They were dating.
Yeah, they were dating, and she was not liking the idea of Kyle MacLachlan hooking up with Sherilyn Fenn, which, God, that would have been a beautiful couple. But
Lara Flynn Boyle seems to have ruined Twin Peaks in multiple ways.
yes, definitely.
She wasn't in the movie Fire Walk with Me.
Yeah, she was replaced by Moira Kelly, who I thought was a much better Donna.
Right.
But if I had to pick a favorite character, it would probably be Pete Martell, because he is one of the quirkiest characters.
There's a fish in the percolator.
The lonesome foghorn blows.
Oh, yes.
Like, he's just so out there.
Yeah.
And like his relationship with Catherine is just like they hate each other so much, but they're married, and it's just it's so beautiful.
Rest in peace, Jack Nance.
Yeah, I'm so upset that Jack Nance won't be able to be in this new season of Twin Peaks because Twin Peaks it was really good in the first season and definitely like the first half of the second season.
Yeah.
But then when David Lynch kind of left the series to continue making films and stuff like that, it went a little downhill. It became more of a parody of itself rather than like a parody of.
And they came back and it picked back up in the last 2 or 3 episodes.
Oh yeah.
But then I've seen the interviews and like what they said about it. Like it was too late, and then ABC didn't want to go through with a 3rd season, so they kind of screwed themselves over, which kind of sucks.
And then they eventually came back for a movie, Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, which is kind of a prequel. And everyone was like, oh, I want the story to continue for Twin Peaks. So David Lynch is like, you know what? I'm going to give you guys a prequel. Because I know you guys... But it was good. I liked it.
I think the movie allowed David Lynch to go where he really wanted to with the series.
It's definitely a David Lynch Twin Peaks.
He was definitely like restricted by being on ABC in prime time. So the movie was just
there were
ridiculous.
Some very messed up things. Which
Kiefer
really
Sutherland was in it.
Yeah.
Like
as
David Bowie was in it too. Remember David Bowie?
That's so. Oh my god. I like the movie when it gets back to Twin Peaks, but like that beginning part with like the other FBI agent investigating the.
See, I like that though because it kind of like showed a parallel like with the diner there.
Yeah,
and then
like
the diner with the
terrible
double
people,
R.
like they all like are hateful people.
And I think it was cool to see Teresa Banks's backstory. Yeah. I think that was a cool parallel to see too because she was only brought up once or twice I think at the beginning first season. Yeah. And I'm glad they did that, and there was more with that ring that had the symbol on it. Mm-hmm. I think there was more with that, and I'm actually glad they did
corn
that
as well. Which
of course, yeah.
I'm interested to see where they go with the new season because
Me too.
We've lost Jack Nance, we lost the guy who played Bob.
Yep.
We lost Log Lady, and now he's in it, but we lost Miguel Ferreira, who played Albert Rosenfield.
Oh, I love Albert Rosenfield.
He's in the series. He's in the season, but we lost him too.
He just recently passed away. Yeah. And we also lost
Dr. Hayward.
Yeah, Dr. Hayward. Yeah. We just
Warren Frost.
recently passed away.
Yeah, he passed away this year.
Yeah.
He's actually the father of Mark Frost, I believe.
Oh, really?
The other writer, creator.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to fill in some of the gaps because we are missing a lot of people.
And one of the other gaps is the guy who plays Harry S. Truman is gone.
Not coming back.
Sheriff Truman, he's not going to come back.
To be honest, it sucks to say this, but like I really don't have high hopes for this 3rd season.
No.
But like when you think about it though, like you're saying, like there's so many gaps missing. Mm-hmm. There's so many. Like, how can you answer questions from 25 years ago with half of the actors missing?
Right.
Yeah.
How can you, like, what happened to Coop in these 25 years? Where are we?
Yeah.
Like, how are they possibly going to do this?
Yeah, there are some strange things that happen at the end of the show that it's going to be interesting to see where they pick it up. Because some characters' lives are in the balance.
Yeah.
There's like a question on whether or not a character is who they actually are, which it's definitively decided that they're not that person, and that was one of the creepiest things as well.
There was promotional photos released like a few weeks ago from some magazine.
Yeah, the Entertainment Weekly covers.
Yeah. James Marshall, who plays James Hurley,
is completely
bald in some of the pictures.
Yeah.
And in some of them, he's not. I was like, what's going on there?
Yeah, it's very weird. I'm wondering if maybe his...
Why did he have to come back? Like, out of all the
worst.
And honestly, that storyline where he's like a mechanic for the one woman that's trying to kill her husband or whatever.
Yeah, that's
that was the worst thing I've ever watched.
That's his life. Billy Zane.
Yeah. His character was never interesting to begin with. I thought he was kind of just blank slate. Like, I'm just here to act off of other people. And
so are we now talking about the worst characters in Twin Peaks?
Okay, yeah, let's go into it. I think
Hurley.
James is definitely one of the worst.
Laura's mom.
Oh yeah, Sarah
I don't
Palmer.
like her. Yeah,
yeah, she's a little just.
She screams a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of screaming. I really like the fact that they brought back Cheryl Lee, who plays Laura Palmer, as her cousin Madeline.
Oh, see, I was gonna put her
You
in
don't like
the
that?
list of worst characters.
See, it's a great like Vertigo reference because
it's
like her name's
weird.
Madeline Ferguson, and like James Stewart's character is named Scotty Ferguson in Vertigo, and like there's the dual identities in that movie that Lynch is
It's
referencing.
just weird.
And I love Cheryl Lee. Like I have a huge crush on her, so it was really good to see her. Like again, of course, it does lead to the complete worst scene ever in Twin Peaks, the "Just You"
Oh my God.
music interlude
Just
where
uncomfortable.
James is giving like a
He's
I
not
wanna
even
screw
playing
you
guitar.
face.
He's not even playing guitar in that either.
He's flirting with two women at once, and one of the women notices and gets mad and storms off. But then it leads into the best scene with Killer Bob crawling slowly over the couch.
You know, I'm gonna be straight up and say I was not a fan of the Log Lady. I don't understand what the big hype about
My
the
log's
Log
gonna
Lady
have something
was.
to say about this.
I'm so sorry. I like her strangeness, but that's about it.
I
like,
love her introduction. Like she's flipping the lights on and off. It's like,
Right.
who's that lady with the log? That's
we
the
call her
log
the Log
lady.
Lady.
How,
I don't know. I just don't understand the big hype with her. She's such a big character. Like she's just as big as Coop, and I just like you see it with the pop vinyls coming out now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really understand the hype of the Log Lady.
I just have one more awful character. Actually, let's go with two. The first one is just a little thing that just kind of bothers me. It's the kid.
Nick.
Yeah, I
Was it
think it's
Nick?
Little
Yes,
Nicky.
it was Nick.
Little
Little
Nicky.
Because he
Nicky.
kept calling him Little
It was
Nicky.
weird, and like the whole
was weird.
dynamic between Dick Tremaine and the kid was
Yeah,
very
that was.
uncomfortable.
I don't know what was happening with that.
But right behind James is Nadine.
Oh, Nadine.
I don't like Nadine.
I never liked Nadine.
She's
No.
scary.
Silent Drape Runners, and then she becomes Super Nadine, and
I think they took it a little too far when they were doing the Super Nadine, and then she was dating Mike. I think that was just like
yeah.
that went too far for me.
Yes.
I was kind of like, okay, can we please move on from this? Like
Yeah,
it
was
just
weird, just weird things at the end of season 2. A character that I was never. I think it's more of the actor that I'm not a fan of. Is I don't like the guy that plays Leo Johnson. I don't think he's that good at acting. Like he's like, this is gonna hurt, Shelley.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I didn't
and
like
I'm
him.
like, God, please just act right.
But I
And,
think
like,
it was on purpose. Like we weren't
Yeah.
supposed to like him.
he
Yeah.
did play a good like vegetable though when
Yeah.
he was
new shoes.
no shoes. Yeah, he
So weird.
was very good at playing like a mute kind of
Yeah.
not there person,
Right.
a vegetable.
But the show just goes from like really super scary to really cheesy, and then back to scary, and then back to genuinely hilarious, and it just like jumps all over the place.
And at some point, it just becomes super insensitive.
Yes. Oh
with
yes.
The racist Asian impression. And
Oh yeah.
now, love David Duchovny. Love the character Denise.
Oh yep.
But that
Denise.
was just weird.
that
And
was very strange.
probably by today's standards would have been super insensitive and offensive.
Yeah.
And they're bringing back Denise for the new season.
I love that. I'm so sorry.
I-
I love Denise. I thought that was the best thing that
I-
series did.
I think David Duchovny plays the role really well.
That was
Yes.
perfect.
I
Yes.
enjoy
It
it.
was
I
absolutely
was like, oh my
perfect.
God, it's Mulder.
Yes.
There he is.
Loved it.
And then when he had like his FBI badge too, I was like, oh my god.
Yep.
I'm like, this is perfect.
Another FBI character I kind of liked was David Lynch's Gordon
Yeah.
Cole.
Oh.
Yes.
Cooper, you remind me of a Mexican Chihuahua. Like it's so
Yes.
weird, and like when he's flirting with Shelley, like
And
I
then
was,
yeah.
I was genuine like Shelley, leave Bobby for him. Like he's such a nice old man. Like,
Yes. Albert. I like Albert.
yeah, Albert
That was
Roosevelt,
alright.
like he the pacifist that just like butts heads with everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, I
There's-
love Albert's so good.
There's a weird sexual tension between Albert, Harry, and Dale.
Oh yeah, I shipped Dale Cooper and Harry Truman several times.
Right. And then
when he
and
boops him on the nose,
Right.
in, like one of the earlier episodes.
It's weird, but
Yeah.
it's there.
And like Cooper has this childish and like boyish fascination with,
With
everything.
everything.
Like it's like, what kind of trees you got here, Harry? Douglas firs. And like
Douglas Fir.
like he really made me want to just like drink coffee.
Diane.
Yeah, just constantly talking to Diane over his little tape recorder.
I wish we could meet Diane.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I have a theory that Diane doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Or I've read a theory even that Diane doesn't exist.
There was a deleted scene in Fire Walk with Me where he was talking with her in the Philadelphia FBI office. You don't see her, but like he's like talking like in her doorway to her before David Bowie comes up and does some weird stuff and then leaves. I really wish that David Bowie was still alive so that we
Right.
could get more of his character
Oh.
because I have no
Right.
clue what
That was
even
about.
involved. He's like, oh yeah, I spied on the meeting of these like supernatural
Right.
creatures above the convenience store, and they were eating creamed corn and
Oh my god, that scene with the masks and Fire Walk
Oh,
with
that-
Me.
yeah, that was
Oh my
weird.
god, that.
yeah. So thank you guys for coming on the show to talk about Twin Peaks. I'm really excited for the new series. I can't wait to watch it. I'll be watching it weekly, definitely. But I really want to thank you guys. Do you guys have any closing thoughts on Twin Peaks?
I hope it changes my mind, and I hope it is good with the third season. But yeah, I it's kind of like the Mystery Science Theater thing. I'll just have to wait and see and watch it.
Mhm.
So I don't know. How about you?
In the style of Leland Palmer, I'd like to sing us out, if that would be okay.
Oh, of course.
Oh my god.
Mares eat oats and does eat oats and little lambs eat ivy. Kit'll eat ivy too, wouldn't you? That's all I got.
Oh, that's beautiful. On that note, until next time, the owls are not what they seem.
Mares eat oats and does eat oats and little lambs eat ivy. A kit'll eat ivy too, wouldn't you?